As the engines hum steadily at cruising altitude, you might find yourself gazing out of the window at the endless blue sky. If you are curious, you might start thinking about the economics of this journey. The aircraft, the pilots, cabin crew, the meals, even the liquid soap in the toilets. How much does all of this cost? The tomato juice you're sipping, the fuel powering the engines, and even the blankets covering the passengers. All are costs that must be offset. For airlines, understanding and managing these costs is critical to their survival. This is where CASK, or Cost Per Available Seat Kilometer, comes into play. CASK is a key metric that quantifies how much it costs an airline to operate one available seat over 1 kilometer. It's calculated as total operating cost divided by available seat kilometers, or ASKs. Like its counterpart, RASK, the revenue equivalent. CASK uses ASKs as a denominator, the total number of available seats multiplied by the distance flown. Here's an example. In 2023, Iceland Air incurred a total operating cost of $1.4 billion. This divided by almost 16 billion ASKs left it with a CASK of 9 cents. Having ASKs as a denominator means the longer the average distance flown by an airline, the lower its CASK will tend to be. Note that low-cost carriers, indicated in orange here, while flying shorter distances, tend to have a much lower cost base and so a lower CASK, and hence the ability to offer much lower fares. CASK focuses exclusively on the cost side of the equation, breaking down where the airline spends money to keep the aircraft flying. Airline operating costs can be grouped into several categories, all of which feed into the CASK metric. Let's take a look at some of them. First is fuel costs. This is always the largest component, often accounting for up to 50% of an airline's total operating expenses. Fuel prices are notoriously volatile, influenced by global oil markets and geopolitical factors. To manage this, airlines employ strategies like fuel hedging and investing in fuel-efficient aircraft such as the Boeing 737 MAX or Airbus A321neo. Then there's crew costs. As pilots, cabin crew, and ground staff form the backbone of any airline's operations. Their salaries, benefits, and training expenses are a significant contributor to CASK. Airlines with higher service standards, such as Emirates or Singapore Airlines, may incur higher crew costs due to larger staff requirements and additional training programs. Safety first. We can't forget maintenance costs. Aircraft require regular maintenance checks to ensure safety and reliability. This includes routine inspections, engine overhauls, and replacing parts. Older aircraft tend to be more expensive to maintain, which is why many airlines invest in newer fleets to reduce long-term CASK. We also have costs like airport and navigation fees. Every takeoff and landing comes with fees paid to airports and air traffic control services. These costs vary depending on the airport's location and size, with major hubs typically charging higher fees. Just like any other business, an airline has overheads. These include everything from marketing and administrative expenses to costs associated with lounges or loyalty programs. When you booked your ticket, you might have noticed significant differences in price between airlines, even for similar routes. These differences often reflect variations in CASK. Low-cost carriers, LCCs like Ryanair or Spirit Airlines, achieve lower CASK by cutting non-essential services and focusing on operational efficiency. They minimize airport fees by flying to secondary airports, operate single aircraft types to streamline maintenance, and keep their planes in the air as much as possible to maximize utilization. Full-service carriers, on the other hand, tend to have a higher CASK because they offer more amenities, operate more complex networks, and use a mix of aircraft types. For these airlines, the added costs are balanced by the ability to command higher fares from passengers seeking a more premium experience. CASK plays a crucial role in determining the financial viability of an airline's operations. To turn a profit, RASK must exceed CASK. This balance is delicate. A spike in fuel prices or a drop in passenger demand can quickly push CASK higher than RASK, forcing airlines to make difficult decisions. They might cut underperforming routes to reduce ASKs, renegotiate contracts, or adjust their fleet strategies to bring costs back in line. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the industry experienced an unprecedented disruption. With passenger demand plummeting, airlines faced the prospect of countless empty seats. This drove down RASK, even as CASK stayed the same. To survive, many carriers cut costs by mothballing older, less efficient aircraft, furloughing staff, and renegotiating deals with suppliers. These adjustments highlighted how critical it is to keep CASK under control, especially in challenging times. Even the seat you're sitting in plays a role in managing CASK. Airlines have embraced the trend for lightweight materials, slimline designs, and high-density configurations to fit more passengers without significantly increasing costs. Fuel-efficient aircraft further reduce operating expenses by consuming less fuel per kilometre flown. CASK also influences route planning. Airlines carefully evaluate the costs of each route, balancing passenger demand with costs such as airport fees, fuel, and crew layover costs to decide which routes to keep, expand, or eliminate. As the aircraft descends and your journey nears its end, the role of CASK becomes even clearer. It's the silent measure that dictates if your airline is economically viable. Airlines must constantly innovate to keep CASK low while maintaining safety, reliability, and passenger satisfaction. CASK is a vital metric dictating the viability of every flight you take. Together with RASK, it determines whether airlines can keep their operations sustainable and competitive. So, the next time you fly, consider the intricate balance of costs that will bring you safely to your destination. If you liked this video, you'll like this one too. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.